Happy Father's Day to all the amazing dads out there, all the dads of the players and coaches and staff that work so hard to raise the amazing women and men of today. And we welcome you to Jackie Robinson Memorial Field here in Pasadena, California, home of the Arroyo Seco Saints, as the Saints get ready to host the Conejo Oaks. It's great to have you with us alongside Calvin Kaplan. My name is Sammy Fawn, and two different teams today, but have one thing in common, both looking to get back into the win column. The Arroyo Seco Saints, the home team, facing a two-game losing streak, having suffered back-to-back losses to the Santa Barbara Foresters, one at home and one on the road. And the Conejo Oaks facing a four-game losing streak. It's been, so far, a four-loss week for the Oaks, and this is their fourth road game of the week. So it's been a tough road trip for the Conejo Oaks, but they need to finish strong. This is a must-win game for the Oaks.
Absolutely. The Oaks 0-4 on the road overall this season, and as you mentioned, of the four-game skid, 3 of those games came recently on the road. The Oaks are looking to get back on track. Fortunately for them, though, they do have a big win over the Saints in Ventura from earlier in the season to get some momentum from.
As we take you to the field, the starting lineup for the Conejo Oaks, we've got James Latshaw to lead off in left field, Owen Mealy second and center, Tyson Reese behind the plate today, cleaning up Dylan Jackson at first base. In the middle, Tyler Antwine, the designated hitter, Caden Stillwell at third base, and the third of the lineup, Luke Medhurst in right field, Danny Aguilera the shortstop, and Nate Lopez at second base. They get ready to face the right-hander for Arroyo Seco. It's Colin Caicedo. Caicedo making his third start of the season. Right now has a 13.5 ERA, has fanned 5 batters on the season, has walked 4, allowed 8 hits. 6 of his 7 runs are earned, and he gets ready to face a very talented Oaks lineup that has been struggling over the past week.
Well, the Oaks will look to get back on track against Caicedo, and they got some hits off of him in his start against the Oaks back on the 14th. He pitched 3 innings, 4 hit, 3-run ball, got 3 strikeouts, but the Oaks were able to get solid contact, and the early inning offense has caused a lot of the woes for this team. James Latshaw is the guy who's going to look to change that at the top of the order.
Beautiful day in Pasadena, very warm, sunny sky. Off we go with a changeup strike over the middle of the plate, nothing and one. Well, James Latshaw making his first appearance in 2 games. Went 0 for 2 against the Orange County Riptide at Great Park this past Friday. Another off speed, it hits the inside corner, no balls and 2 strikes.
Great way for Caicedo to start in attack mode. He can't be afraid of the strike zone. Just wants to work efficiently and take an example from what Noah Aguilar-Tanpanich did against the Oaks yesterday.
Misses down and in for a ball. Yeah, Noah Aguilar-Tanpanich had by far his best pitching appearance in the season so far. Went 4+ innings. Just 2 runs to his name. As there's a line drive into center field for a base hit, so James Latshaw has himself a leadoff single, and that is exactly the kind of start the Oaks were hoping to see.
Exactly
offensively.
is. Yeah, Latshaw waited for his pitch, pounced on it, and just got full-barreled a ball into slight left center. Absolutely how the Oaks want to start. And to get into the heart of the order, got guys like Owen Mealy and Tyson Reese coming up. We'll see what power they can provide with the Oaks already getting a leadoff runner on base.
Well, next up for the Oaks, Owen Mealy, the center fielder, with Latshaw now at first. First pitch. Slider just misses off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Mealy went hitless 0 for 4 in last night's game against the MLB Academy Barons, and his last at-bat was rather a bizarre ending. He was called out on a batter's interference. Check back on Latshaw at first base. First baseman Zach Light holding him on. 1-0 misses upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes on Owen Mealy. Some serious heat there from Caicedo.
Yeah, Caicedo has mixed in the off-speed early, as you said, but going back to the fastball, couldn't find his spot, and he really does not want to issue a walk in this situation.
Another check on Latshaw. Latshaw with a pretty good lead there at first, and Caicedo definitely keeping an eye on him. Here's the 2-0. Pop back foul against the screen. 2 balls and 1 strike.
For Mealy, you mentioned the hitless day against the Barons. He did have 2 hits against the Riptide the day before that, and is still settling into the Oaks. He's played in each of the last 5 games, coming in late after Cal Poly made a run at the College World Series, almost made it there.
Another check, a little closer that time on Latshaw at first. And Latshaw's leadoff single marks the first time in 3 games that the Oaks have put their leadoff man on in the first inning. The past 2 games, they've went down 1-2-3 in the first. The 2-1. Buzzes Mealy inside. The count is 3-1 now.
Yeah, and something we've talked about on broadcast and also off the air is the travel potentially making an impact on the Oaks' ability to perform. Today, Jackie Robinson Field was just a couple hours, maybe even less than that from Thousand Oaks, much lesser distance for the players.
Here's the 3-1. Misses off the plate, so a single and a walk puts runners at first and second with nobody out, and Caicedo facing some early inning trouble.
This is a really well done at-bat from Owen Mealy. Caicedo was all around the zone, but he ultimately could not locate consistently enough, and for Caicedo, it's imperative to get Reese here. Reese has been able to reach base with 3 walks in his last 2 games, but hasn't had a hit in either of those.
Tyson Reese getting the start behind the plate today for the first time this season. That one is popped up left side and in and back from foul territory. The ball is missed. The infield fly rule was called, so the Saints more or less catch a break there. And an out is recorded, so a big first out for the Saints. Not in the cleanest fashion, but Saints will take the out.
Yeah, sun in the eyes of Asperger. I guess theoretically, if there was no infield fly, he just tries to go for the triple play there, but you never want that to happen, hence the rule.
Well, now here is Dylan Jackson, who has been the main source of home run power at the plate for the Oaks. He stands in with 2 on and 1 out. Here's the first pitch. Slider hits the outside corner for a strike, 0-1. Well, Dylan Jackson right now in a 3-way tie for second place in home runs in the CCL. We've got Winchell and Ellis for the Crawdads with 3 apiece, along with Dylan Jackson. Line drive, base hit to left field. Latshaw will be stopped at third, and wisely so. And the Oaks have loaded the bases on a single to left by Dylan Jackson. The Oaks in prime scoring position.
That's Jackson's first hit since a week ago against the Saints at home. He was 0 for his last 10, but slapped one into left. Quality contact right past Asperger. And like you said, a good relay and a good decision by Latshaw to hold at third. But the Oaks' bats, after being in a slump over the last few games, have really awakened in the top of the first.
Sets the stage for Tyler Antwine, the designated hitter. Recently picked up his first CCL base hit. First one, and Antwine went around on that swing, 0-1. The bases loaded and nobody out. Caicedo's biggest wish is for that ground ball double play ball. That would get the Saints out of the inning scoreless. And the 0-1. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back swinging strikes. That one likely in the zone, though. So the count is 0-2 on Antwine.
It's been a powerful start for the Oaks, but the Saints need to keep in mind that there's 1 out on the board, a force anywhere that could easily turn 2 or get a strikeout and turn this into a potentially scoreless inning.
0-2. In the dirt, Antwine able to lay off as it's blocked by Cam Andrews behind the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, we've seen Antwine get some action in each of the last 3 days. Was a pinch hitter against the Riptide and played yesterday against the Barons and got a hit, as you mentioned. He also had that home run in the exhibition against the Coastal Dodgers, looking to maybe tap into that power with the center field fence, only about 364.
1-2 on the way. Misses down and in. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Antwine putting up a pretty good at-bat against Caicedo. He started off on the wrong foot, getting Antwine to fish at a pitch, but he's been able to battle. Caden Stillwell waits on deck. Bases loaded, 1 out. 2-2. Chopped foul right above the Saints dugout. Well, you've got Latshaw at third, Mealy at second, and Jackson at first with 1 out.
And one of the things we talked about late yesterday in the Oaks' blowout loss was them trying to get long at-bats to bring momentum into today, and here Tyler Antwine's doing just that.
2-2 pitch. Just misses the outside corner. It's now a full count on Antwine, so unless Caicedo can get Antwine to swing at one, he has to throw a strike here. Full count, bases loaded, 1 out, top of the first. 3-2 offering. Sharp grounder foul to the left side. And this at-bat will continue for at least 1 more pitch.
Now for Antwine, it's just about timing it up against Caicedo. He's really made him work. It's also about being patient. Caicedo's had to throw around the zone for a while. Maybe he will miss on 3-2 and allow the Oaks to walk in a run.
Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called on the upper part of the zone. Caicedo gets a huge strikeout as he freezes Antwine for out number 2.
Well, that's great pitch selection from Caicedo, going to the off speed and forcing Antwine to make a guess as to whether it would get back in the zone. It broke just at his belt over the middle and got Antwine for the second out, a huge out for the Saints.
Puts a bit more pressure on the Oaks. Still some pressure on the Saints as it's up to Caicedo to not allow a walk or a hit or throw a wild pitch or a pass ball. It's a swing and a miss at a nice breaking ball there from Caicedo. Caden Stillwell getting the start at third base again. We saw him start at third on Friday against the Orange County Riptide. Here's the 0-1. In the dirt, Stillwell able to check his swing. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Stillwell went 0 for 3 last night against the MLB Academy Barons with a strikeout. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Latshaw, Mealy, and Jackson the runners. 1-1 pitch. Fastball hits the outside corner. It's 1-2. So now Caicedo a strike away from putting up a scoreless first inning with the bases loaded and what was once 1 out.
The Oaks cannot afford this, stranding 3 base runners in the first. This is the offensive spark that they needed. They have to capitalize with a run.
1-2 comes home. In the dirt, Andrews had some trouble finding it. Fortunately for him, it didn't skip too far away from him. Or else it would have been perhaps a guaranteed run for Latshaw to score, but it's a 2-2 count, bases still loaded with 2 outs. Caicedo's just got to buckle down here. He is a strike away from sending the Saints to the bottom of the first in their first at-bats. 2-2 pitch. In the dirt, and the count is full.
Well, here's the intensity early on. Already the bases loaded and a full count for Stillwell, who's been somebody who's gotten on base in every appearance this season, all 7 of them.
3-2 and 2 outs, bases loaded. The runners will be going on this pitch. Payoff delivery. Grounder to the left side, diving play at third by Asperger. Throw to first, not in time. 1-0 Oaks as Latshaw scores. Well, an excellent play at third base by Sean Asperger. I thought that ball might have had a chance to skip over his glove. He's able to keep it on the infield and save at least one extra run. But the Oaks do strike first.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable play by Asperger. He went full extension to grab that ball. But how about Stillwell? Just getting a quality knock on 3-2. The Oaks have to be happy with where they are, but Luke Medhurst isn't satisfied with stopping here.
Takes the first pitch in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Well, Medhurst got the start in right field last night as well, and in the past 2 days, we have seen 3 at-bats for Medhurst where he was rung up on a questionable strike 3. 1 ball, no strikes. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Mealy, Jackson, and Stillwell, the runners, from third to first in reverse. 1-0. Hits the low outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. Oaks have scored 1 run, but they look to get more here as they certainly have more chances. The 1-1. That's in the dirt. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, there's one thing for certain. The Oaks have made Caicedo work in this inning.
Yeah, it hasn't come easy, and he hasn't been pitching badly. He's just missing some spots narrowly, and when he's been hitting the zone, the Oaks have been seizing on the opportunity to get their pitch.
2 balls, 1 strike, bases loaded, 2 outs, 1-0 Oaks. 2-1 delivery. Misses high and outside, 3-1 now on Medhurst. Well, if you're Caicedo here, you don't want to issue a walk. You don't want any unnecessary runs scoring. Medhurst in a comfortable spot. He can afford to take a pitch here. The 3-1. Hits the lower part of the zone. It's now a full count.
Yeah, Medhurst maybe wanting ball 4. No stranger to wanting ball 4 and not getting it, especially yesterday. It was not a fun day for him at MLB Youth Academy with the called strikeouts.
Runners will be going on this pitch, the 3-2. And looks like they say Medhurst went around. I think he thought it was ball 4. He thought he checked his swing. So it's another huge strikeout for Colin Caicedo. We head to the bottom of the first. It is 1-0 Oaks. Saints will come up to bat when we return. To the bottom of the first inning we go, and it is an early 1-0 lead for the Oaks. Not necessarily as many runs as they could have gotten, but they did bat 7 batters to get a run with the bases loaded in what was at one point 1 out. And starting on the mound for the Oaks is Will Kaczynski, getting his 3rd start of the season. He's thrown 7 innings, has struck out 8 batters, has allowed just 1 run on the season, a 1.29 ERA. He gets ready to face the following batters for the Saints: Braden Flores at short, Carson Panarisi in left field, Jacob Frears the DH returner for the Saints, Zach Light at first base, Evan Ryder in center field, Cannon King the right fielder, and to finish off the third of the lineup, Camden Andrews the catcher, Sean Asperger at third, and Dylan Immel at second base.
Kaczynski's got a fastball, slider, cutter, splitter in his arsenal. And this season came off a big day against the Bombers on the 13th. 4 innings of 1 hit, no run ball. Through 3 innings of 3 hit, 1 run ball against the Riptide a week before that on June 6th.
And in he comes, getting ready to take on the Saints. Braden Flores starts things off for the Saints at shortstop. And again, it's great to have you with us. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube, and Freer takes the first pitch down for a ball.
Flores batting .356 this season. He's been one of the most effective hitters for the Saints in 11 games played.
1-0 pitch, grounded sharply up the middle and through for a base hit. So the Saints off to just as good of a start as the Oaks got off to. A leadoff single from Braden Flores.
Well placed by Flores. Not hesitating to be aggressive early in the at-bat. That can be the key to some of his hits. Carson Panarisi's been another good hitter at .306 this season. It would be really big for the Saints if he could keep the train rolling.
Carson Panarisi, rising junior at Cal State LA, gets a piece of that one and goes right into the glove of Tyson Reese. Saints currently in 6th place in the CCL South, looking to claw their way up. 0-1, a fastball misses low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, in Panarisi's second year for the Golden Eagles at Cal State LA, he played 28 games, batted .317, hit 1 long ball. 1-1 from Kaczynski. Misses downstairs, 2 balls and 1 strike. And the 2-1 line drive right back up the middle for a base hit. And the Saints with back-to-back singles to lead off the bottom of the first inning. They are attacking right away.
Well, Kaczynski had allowed just 4 hits in 7 innings entering today. He's now allowed 2 to start, and Panarisi just laced that ball right up the middle. It's been a great start on offense for the Saints in response, not going down without a fight.
Well, a guy who knows a thing or two about fighting for the Saints is Jacob Freer, who is a returner for the Saints from last season. And the first pitch he sees misses upstairs for a ball. Yeah, Freer, a typical infielder and leadoff batter for the Saints. Occasionally seen at first base as well as third base and second base and even short. 1-0. Changeup on the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Freer's played 9 games this season, 10 for 35, so batting .286. He's got a double and a triple under his belt.
Batted .339 last summer for the Saints. 1-1, a swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes is the count on Freer.
Well, this is a much better at-bat for Kaczynski. He's really dialed in there. Got Freer to chase on one that wasn't his pitch. Now in strikeout territory, or maybe he can even get a ball on the ground, try to turn 2.
That would certainly be big for him. It would take the pressure off him facing the batter Light on deck. 1-2, chopper on the ground to second. Lopez flips to Aguilera to short. On to first in time for the double play. 4-6-3 double play. Gives the Oaks 2 big outs. And a runner at third. Now with 2 outs, a little more pressure on Zach Light.
That's the way to do it. Perfect chopper, good speed. The Oaks turned it cleanly. They've had a number of double plays this season. Zach Light in the cleanup spot. He's batting 182 this season. Played in the last 4 games. Had 2 hits against the Forsters a couple days ago.
Flores at third. First pitch, a strike on the inside corner to Zach Light. 0-1. Runner at third, 2 outs. And the 0-1. Light lifts one in the air to left center field. That's in the gap, and it's going to go down and reach the wall. Saints have tied the game as Flores scores, and Light pulls up into second with a 2-out RBI double to tie the game at 1.
Well, just a pitch over the plate that Light was able to tear into. Easily drives in the runner, Flores. And how about the energy from the Saints getting ready to match what the Oaks did in the first. Should be a fun back and forth contest if this is how it continues.
Brings up Evan Ryder, the center fielder for the Saints, with a chance to give the Saints the lead with 1 swing. Fouls that one straight back, and that one got stuck in the fence. It's right above us.
Yeah, it is right above us.
I low-key can't stop looking at it.
Looks like if it falls back, it'll be into the field of play.
No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here's the pitch, a swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes now, the count on Ryder. Oh-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, a 3-pitch strikeout for Kaczynski as he fans Evan Ryder. So the game is tied at 1 as we now head to the second inning with each team having scored a run in their respective half of the first. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. We'll be right back. One ball game as we now head to the top of the second inning where Danny Aguilera will lead things off for the Conejo Oaks. Aguilera getting the start at shortstop as he did in last night's game. A couple nights ago, rather, as that one is fouled back against the fence. No balls and 1 strike. Well, so the Oaks load the bases 1 out, end up scoring 1 run out of their chances. And Saints, despite hitting into a double play, scored a run with 2 outs and a runner at third. That one misses just low. 1 ball and 1 strike to Danny Aguilera. And I think possibly the biggest difference between these two teams' respective offensive first innings is the Saints capitalized quicker on their chances more efficiently. 1-1. A slider misses away. 2-1.
Yeah, both teams are going to have offensive opportunities this game. It's just about who is stranding runners versus who is not. So far, the Saints have capitalized. They've done more with less.
Pitch high and in tight. 3 balls and 1 strike. The count to Aguilera. Three one on the way. Misses upstairs, ball 4. Second walk allowed by Colin Caicedo.
And more good patience from the Oaks in that at-bat. Caicedo's command hasn't been the sharpest, so the Oaks have decided they'll wait for their pitches. Lopez has an opportunity here with Aguilera on base.
Yeah, we've seen Nate Lopez in a little bit of a slump lately. Went 0 for 3 at the plate last night. He chops one to third, and Asperger knocks down the high chopper. I believe that will be a hit for Nate Lopez as he chopped that one on an above St. Louis arc angle. A Baltimore chop there.
Good hustle for Lopez. It is indeed a single. Good hit.
So first and second, nobody out. Oaks started off the first inning in very similar fashion as James Latshaw, the man who got it started in the first with a single, bats for the second time already today as he looks at a first pitch ball upstairs.
Yeah, Latshaw got a good piece into slight left center to start the whole thing off. The Oaks have looked a lot sharper today, more prepared coming off a skid.
The 1-0. Misses downstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. The count to Latshaw. Yeah, Colin Caicedo finding himself with first and second inning trouble with the first 2 batters. And in both cases, a hit and a walk. Not necessarily in that order each time. 2-0. Latshaw gets a piece of it and fouls it straight back against the padding.
Good cut by Latshaw. Spent time this season on the mound and at the plate and contributed in both areas. Had a really solid outing against the Saints on the 14th on the mound. 2 innings of 1-hit ball.
The 2-1 pitch. That hits the upper part of the zone, and perhaps Latshaw might have thought it was a little high, but the count is even at 2. So Latshaw putting up a nice at-bat against Caicedo, but Caicedo putting up a good battle on the mound against Latshaw. 2-2 pitch. Fouled straight back. Still 2-2.
That one might have been right at the camera. I don't know what those tuning in saw, but if it's possible they saw a baseball coming right at them.
Aguilera at second, Lopez at first. Nobody out here in the second. 1-1 ball game. 2-2 again. Another foul ball, and Aguilera really getting his hacks and being able to fight it off against that screen. Still 2 on and nobody out. Oaks seeing distinct chances in both the first and second inning. The 2-2. High and inside fastball. It's a full count now on Latshaw.
Yeah, Latshaw's really getting in his work in this second at-bat. Well done to work it to full against Caicedo. He's threatening to try to load the bases for the Oaks for the second time.
3-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. Bases loaded now with nobody out. Well, the walks have certainly not been a friend to Colin Caicedo on the mound, and we're going to have a mound visit for the Saints as the infield comes toward the mound, but Oaks certainly giving Caicedo trouble, making him work in these first couple of innings. They scored just 1 run in the first inning, and they look to get more, and this time they've loaded the bases with nobody out.
Yeah, this is signature Oaks baseball right now. Just moving guys along, getting quality hits, taking quality at-bats. It's a lot more like what we saw early in the season. And really, for one of the only times this season, the Oaks have come out on the road and looked just really dominant on offense early on. Hasn't resulted in too many runs yet. There's still work to do, but just well approached by all these players who look awake and ready to go.
Owen Mealy will step to the plate. He drew a walk his first time up. He looks to get home at least 1 run. Caicedo cannot afford another walk here. First pitch. Swung on and missed. Nice off speed. Uncle Charlie there from Colin Caicedo, 0-1. Well, you've got Aguilera at third, Lopez at second, and Latshaw at first. A hit in the middle of 2 walks. The 0-1. Poked to right field. That's down for a base hit. In to score Aguilera. Lopez will be stopped at third. And the Oaks regain the lead. It's 2-1 Conejo, thanks to an RBI single by Owen Mealy.
Great contact for Mealy, putting it right into a soft spot in right. Just keeping things moving. That's the key. The Oaks are not trying to do too much at the plate. Not a lot of swing and misses today. They're just waiting for their perfect pitch and taking quality contact as it comes, and it's worked wonders so far. More offensive chances to come.
Excellent piece of hitting indeed there by Mealy. It brings up Tyson Reese. Ground ball to the right side. This will get a run home. Throw to second for 1. Throw to first in time for the double play. Lopez does score, which makes it a 3-1 ball game. So 2 outs in exchange for a run. I imagine that's a trade-off the Saints will make any day.
Yeah, but at least for the Oaks, they get another one across. Fortunately, though, for the Saints, in a much better situation now. But you do like Tyson Reese getting the ball in play and being able to drive in another one for the Oaks, who are now up multiple.
Dylan Jackson ripped a single of his own through the left side his first time up. First pitch, a fastball, just misses off the corner. 1 ball, no strikes. So Latshaw is at third with 2 outs. One out. Swung on and missed. Jackson ahead of that changeup from Caicedo. Well, we've seen the Oaks get going early, which is exactly what they needed to do. They need to start to chip away early against the Saints, especially the Oaks coming off a 4-game losing streak, as we mentioned, as that one misses low. It's now a 2-1 count on Dylan Jackson. Two-one. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Dylan Jackson still looking for that rhythm he had in at-bat number 1, where he tore one through the shortstop side.
Runner at third, 2 outs. 2-run ball game. 2-2 swing and a miss, and Caicedo gets Dylan Jackson to climb the ladder, but he comes up empty, so it's 3-1 Oaks as Conejo scores a pair in the top of the second. We head to the bottom of the third. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. 3-1 Oaks as we now head to the bottom of the second inning as the Oaks scored 2 in their half of the second. Will Kaczynski enters his second inning of work. He allowed 1 run on 3 hits in the bottom of the first inning. The first 2 reached, followed by a double play and then an RBI double from Zach Light. And Cannon King, the right fielder, will lead things off for Arroyo Seco.
Cannon King's made an impact this year with a .344 batting average in 8 games played. For Kaczynski, he's got himself a cushion. It's just about settling in. He allowed a couple hits in the first, but ended it with a nice swinging strikeout against Evan Reiter. He'd like to continue that momentum here.
First pitch, strike on the outside corner, 0-1. The count to Cannon King, coming off of his freshman year at Cal State San Marcos, playing for the Cougars. Played in 50 games this freshman year. He chops that one right off himself, 0-2 the count. Batted .339, slugged .690. Hit 14 home runs as a freshman. 12 doubles, 3 triples, stole 2 bases, drew 32 walks, knocked in 58 runs on 58 hits. Those are some impressive numbers, to say the least, as a freshman. Misses down and in for a ball, so it's really no surprise that he's made a huge impact coming into this summer.
Indeed, yeah, 3 doubles and a home run this summer in addition to those freshman year stats.
1-2 from Kaczynski. Chopper to the right side. Nate Lopez throws to first to retire Cannon King for the first out.
Well, against a power hitter like that, the best thing you can do if you're a pitcher is get the ball on the ground. And that's what Will Kaczynski did, letting his fielders make a routine play. That brings up the catcher, Cam Andrews, who's hitting .364 on the season in his 7 games played, a combined 8 for 22.
Andrews played last summer for the San Luis Obispo Blues, another team in the CCL that the Oaks will face later on in the season. First pitch misses down and away. 1 ball, no strike. Well, Andrews, a rising senior at Cal Baptist, previously played 2 years at San Francisco State. He did redshirt in 2023 and then played in 2024 and 2025. 1-0. On the outside corner for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the 1-1 from Kaczynski. Misses in the dirt, 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, Cam Andrews for Cal Baptist, coming off of a pretty good season as he gets into the summer, transferring from San Francisco State. 2 balls and 1 strike. Misses down and away, 3 balls and 1 strike. He batted .471 this past season for Cal Baptist, and also slugged that number as well, .471. (3-1) with 1 out. Kaczynski deals. Chopper right into the Saints dugout, which runs the count full.
Yeah, Kaczynski went to the splitter of the pitch before, then the fastball in on the hands. We mentioned he's got fastball, slider, cutter, splitter. Could choose any one of those on 3-2.
3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Will Kaczynski picks up his 2nd strikeout of the day. 2 down.
Fastball up was the call, and not a bad pitch. Got Andrews chasing. He was a little over eager. Just a great second out for the Oaks.
Now brings up Sean Asperger, third baseman for the Arroyo Seco Saints, batting 154 so far this summer. And he pops up the first pitch he sees to the left side. Just short of foul territory. Caden Stillwell is able to make the catch. 1-2-3 second inning for Will Kaczynski. 3-1 Oaks is your score. We head to the third inning. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Top of the third inning, it's 3-1 Oaks. Oaks will come up to bat here in the third inning, starting with Tyler Antwine, the DH, who went down looking his first time up. He batted with the bases loaded and one out, and he looks to start a third inning rally here for the Oaks. So Colin Caicedo enters his third inning of work. First pitch, a fastball, misses inside, 1-0.
This Oaks lineup has been just doing really well moving guys along. We've talked about it through the first couple of innings, but it's been a combination of long at-bats and quality contact. Everything you could want.
1-0 hits the inside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, Antwine was rung up looking on a 3-2 off speed that caught him at the belt. He won't want that to happen again.
1-1 offering. Off speed on the outside part of the plate, 1-2 on Antwine. So again, Antwine facing a 2-strike pressure count. 1-2 from Caicedo. Popped up right side. And the second baseman, Immel, makes the catch for the out. Well, defensively for the Arroyo Seco Saints, Colin Caicedo on the bump. Cam Andrews behind the plate. Zach Light at first base. Dylan Immel, the third baseman. Sean Asperger at third. Braden Flores at short. In the outfield from left to right, you've got Carson Panarisi, Evan Ryder, and Cannon King. So 1 gone here in the third inning, and that brings up Caden Stillwell, who lifts the ball to left center field. That could be trouble. It's in the gap and down for a base hit. Stillwell on his way to second, and he hustles in there for a 1-out double.
Smoked by Stillwell. What a hit into the gap. He's already halfway to the cycle with a single and a double. Just a great start to the game for a guy who's been such a consistent hitter in all parts of the order. We've seen him bat first. We've seen him bat in the lower middle where he is today, and he capitalizes with a one-out double.
Well, here's Luke Medhurst, who went down swinging his first time up to end the top of the first inning. He's got a chance to bring home Stillwell as he looks at a ball downstairs, 1-0. Stillwell at second with one out. 1-0 offering. Medhurst fights that one off to the left side, and it hits the fence. 1 ball and 1 strike now.
Medhurst struck out to end the first. His highlight of yesterday against the Barons was a big double late in the game.
1-1. Fastball on the inside corner. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Medhurst. Runner at second with 1 out. One, 2 to Medhurst. High fastball. Medhurst takes it. Count is even at 2. Yeah, Medhurst, the lone hit that he got last night was that double in the 9th inning. Runner at second, 1 out. 2-2 pitch. Medhurst lifts it to right center field. It is going to be caught by Evan Reiter, and Stillwell backtracks to second base, 2 down.
Good hustle from center fielder Reiter to get under that one in a hurry. Danny Aguilera could be a big threat here with a runner in scoring position. He went 0 for 3 against the Riptide yesterday, but had a 3-hit game earlier in the season against the Bombers.
He drew a walk his first time up to begin the 2nd inning. Runner at second, 2 outs. That's Stillwell. First pitch, a swing and a miss. That one dipped down a bit on Aguilera, so he's behind 0-1. Runner at second with 2 outs. Here's the 0-1. Chop to the left side. Asperger has it, throws to first. And Oaks get a double, but we now head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It's 3-1 Conejo. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube. We will step aside and be right back. Okay, here we are in the bottom of the 3rd inning, and we'd like to take you back to the booth for a moment because, as you may be able to see, we now have a canopy courtesy of the fantastic Arroyo Seco Saints intern staff. Shout out to them. We now have some shade and can take you through the game just the same, but a little different shade setting now in the booth for us as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. First pitch, high and outside. 1 ball, no strikes. The count to Dylan Immel, the second baseman.
Yeah, you can hear the enthusiasm. The shade is making all the difference right now. But For the Oaks, it's been a great start as well.
There's a strike that hits the lower part of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, yeah, I think it's maybe certainly the warmest road game that the Oaks have had so far. A late afternoon game with a 4:05 start time as Immel fouls that one off to the left side. 1 ball and 2 strikes, but just getting here, certainly a warm temperature, and had to provide a little bit of protection for our technical equipment as not to allow it to overheat. But it's a great day for baseball nonetheless. 1-2. Chop to the right side, it is just foul.
This was a really good second inning that we saw from Will Kaczynski, going 1-2-3 after a rockier first. He's really settled in nicely and gets to be ahead in the count against the Saints' number 9 hitter.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Kaczynski deals, and it's a fastball upstairs, 2-2.
Fastball heavy today for Kaczynski, no surprise there. Really adds to the unpredictability of when he mixes in the off speed.
2-2 the count to Immel. Takes one high and outside. It's now a full count on Immel. Played in 2026 at Wagner College after transferring from Cerritos College, a 2-year player there. Batted .310 this past season. In ball 4. So a leadoff walk to Dylan Immel.
Immel did a great job of working back from 1-2. Kaczynski temporarily lost his control, and Braden Flores is a really tough hitter to get out because he gets on base, he can run, and he can hit for power with 6 extra base hits on the season.
Hit a sharp ground ball single up the middle his first time up, and later scored on a double by Zach Light. There's a line drive to left, and the catch is made and left by James Latshaw for the first out.
Just a great running catch from Latshaw. Able to take care of Flores, who it looked like might have pieced up another hit. Well done by Latshaw to back up his pitcher.
Now brings up Carson Panarisi, who also singled to center his first time up. First one from Kaczynski. There's a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Well, Panarisi has got that solid contact, a virtue for the Saints. Looks to get another hit here. Takes one inside for a ball.
Yeah, the Saints started off the game with back-to-back hits before hitting into a double play, but they still plated 1 in the first. But since those first 2 hits, Will Kaczynski has been really sharp and dialed in for the most part.
Batted a sharp .331 at Cal State LA this past season. There goes the runner, and it's a line drive foul to the right side, so Immel will retreat to first.
Panarisi got all over it. It was just a tad late. Could have been his second hit of the day if it was more to the left.
Panarisi hit 2 long balls this past season for Cal State LA for the Golden Eagles. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Runner at first. 1-2 on the way. A chopper up the middle. Aguilar gets it, steps on the bag, throws to first in time for the 6-3 double play. So the Saints get a walk, but run themselves out of the inning with a double play, and we now head to the 4th inning. It's 3-1 Oaks. We'll be right back. 3 innings in the books, and the Oaks come up to bat for the 4th time today. Colin Caicedo out for his 4th inning of work. He has allowed 3 runs so far in 3 innings. He's been pitching pretty well today, just, occasionally missing some spots. The command is there on and off sometimes, but these Oaks batters doing a good job of making him work.
Nate Lopez is one of them. Had a single back in the 2nd. This has just been a really quality performance from the Oaks so far. Lots of game left to be played, but you can feel the palpable difference in this team.
First pitch to Lopez. Change up, a strike on the outside corner, and a neat framing job there by Cam Andrews. 0-1. Caicedo deals. Another off-speed strike. That one right over the middle of the plate. 0-2. 0-2 pitch. And Lopez chops that right off of his jersey.
Lopez was a little bit on top of it after seeing a curveball, interestingly enough. So anticipated the high fastball, got a little above it, but still stays alive.
No balls, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Strike 3 called right over the plate, and Lopez knew it. He's rung up for the first out.
4 strikeouts today for Caicedo. This has been a quality adjustment in the 3rd and 4th innings so far. James Latshaw has reached base twice, but for now, Caicedo appears to have found somewhat of a rhythm. It's just going to be up to the Saints offense to climb back into this.
First pitch, a changeup over the plate on the outer half. 0-1, the count to James Latshaw. 1 for 1, a single and a walk on the day. Misses upstairs, and Andrews just reminding Caicedo to bring it down a bit. 1 ball and 1 strike. Caicedo delivers. Hits the upper part of the zone. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Just loved the off speed. Gone to it almost exclusively this inning. And it worked right there. It's freezing up these hitters a little bit.
Latshaw floats one to center field. It's plenty playable, though, as Evan Ryder makes the catch. 2 down.
Well struck by Latshaw, but that's his first out of the day. But Owen Mealy has been good today as well, with a walk and a single on his ledger so far.
Now brings up Owen Mealy, who had an RBI single his last time up in the 2nd inning. High fastball misses outside as well. 1-0. There's 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Caicedo delivers the 1-0. Fastball misses down and away. 2-0 now, the count on Mealy. Two-0 pitch. Misses down and away. It's a 3-0 count on Mealy.
Caicedo has gone to a lot of fastball, curveball in these at-bats. Fell behind due to a lack of command. Credit to Owen Mealy again, who's really been disciplined at the plate throughout this season.
3-0 pitch. Hits the lower part of the zone. It's 3 balls and 1 strike.
And the Oaks don't want to give up any easy 1-2-3 innings. First 2 batters have gone down. Owen Mealy could try to do something to keep it alive.
3-1 is fought off by Mealy, and it lands into the bleachers. Full count on Owen Mealy. Base is empty with 2 outs. 3-2 offering. Ground ball left side. Flores throws to first in time to retire Mealy. A 1-2-3 fourth inning. The first 1-2-3 inning that Caicedo has thrown. And we now head to the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 Oaks. We'll be right back. We go to the bottom of the fourth inning. It's still a 3-1 Oaks lead as Will Kaczynski enters his fourth inning of work. And Jacob Freer will lead things off for the Arroyo Seco Saints. He grounded into a 4-6-3 double play his first time up.
One of 2 double plays so far that the Oaks have turned on defense.
Pops that one up to the left side in foul territory, and Stillwell runs out of room. Well, this past season, in 2026 at Azusa Pacific University, Freer had a breakout sophomore season, made a name for himself as one of the top shortstops in the Pacific West Conference, earned all-region second team, all-Pac West second team honors, just a couple of his honors. Takes a high fastball outside. He batted .334, 8 long balls, hit 12 doubles, drove home 39 runs, a .929 OBS, .430 on base percentage as well. 1-1. Misses just a little bit outside. 2 balls and 1 strikes, and that was even coming off of a standout freshman season where he played 48 games and batted .272. Here's the 2-1. Freer checks his swing, and he did not go. 3 balls, 1 strike.
In his fourth inning of work, Kaczynski just wants to make it quick and efficient. He's been great since allowing a run in the first.
Here's the 3-1. Popped foul out of play, and the count runs full now on Jacob Freer.
Since the first, Kaczynski had a 1-2-3 inning and then allowed a leadoff walk that was erased by a double play in the third.
Three-two pitch to Freer. Misses down and in for ball 4. So a leadoff walk by Jacob Freer. And for Kaczynski, just his second walk of the day.
Shows you how the command has been pretty sharp for the most part. He gives Freer the free pass. Zach Light with a double in the first. Could be a threat. Light was the one who had the lone RBI for the Saints so far. He's trying to make it a 2-hit day.
Freer at first. Nobody out. Light Tries to check his swing, and he did. So it's a 1-0 count on Zach Light. Yeah, he came up with 2 outs in the bottom of the first inning right after Freer had grounded into a double play and just drove one into the gap in left center field. 1-0. He rips that one into right center field. That's in the gap and down for a hit. Freer is off to the races as that one hits off the wall. Freer being waved home, and there will be no throw to the plate. And it's now a 1-run ball game, 3-2 Oaks, as Zach Light rips his second RBI double of the day. It's 3-2 Oaks.
How about Zach Light finding the gaps today, putting one in left center in the first and in right center in the fourth. Both resulted in RBIs, and he has been the offensive MVP for this team so far, keeping the Saints in it, cutting the deficit to 1, and with nobody out in the inning and a runner in scoring position, Arroyo Seco's in a great spot to try to tie this game.
Zach Light shining his light at the plate, and now that brings up Evan Ryder, the center fielder who went down via way of the K his last time up. And he yanks that one foul right behind Aaron Milam, the third base coach, as well as the head coach for the Arroyo Seco Saints and executive of the CCL. So no balls and 1 strike. Light the runner at second, and Ryder would like to get him home. There's nobody out in the bottom of the fourth. Popped up. Foul territory. Tyson Reese giving it a chase, and comes up a little short as it hops in front of him.
Well, he almost had it. Just stuck out his glove a little bit more. Maybe he could have made the play, but it's a tough one to track in the sun, staring right at it. Good effort from Tyson Reese.
So it's an 0-2 count on Evan Ryder. Zach Light representing the tying run at second base. A single could drive him home. Pitch on the way, a swing and a miss. So a 3-pitch strikeout. And Ryder is down via way of the K for the first out and for the second time today.
3 strikeouts for Will Kaczynski, and the thing that's most impressive about him is that he doesn't dwell on a bad at-bat. He always comes back, brings his all, and oftentimes is able to get a key strikeout. He now has 11 of those on the season. That's what's made him one of the best pitchers for the Oaks in 2026.
First pitch is a ball outside to Cannon King. Well, Cannon King grounded out to second base his first time up. So the Saints not out of this inning yet. They're chasing just 1 run and a runner at second. 1-0, a strike on the inside corner, 1-1.
Yeah, still an opportunity for the Saints, even with a single to tie the game. It's a tricky spot for Kaczynski, but he's proven he can handle these before.
1 ball, 1 strike with 1 out. Here's the pitch. There's a fly ball high in the air to left center field. That's trouble back at the wall, and it is gone. Cannon King, with 1 swing of his bat, gives the Arroyo Seco Saints a 4-3 lead. Boy, that one was scorched off the bat. Hit the screen out in left center field, and this game is turned upside down.
It was near the top of the screen. Arroyo Seco center field is not super far from the plate, only about 364 at its deepest. And so Cannon King just decided to give it a ride and then some. Home run number 2 for him on the season. He absolutely smoked it. How about that to give the Saints the advantage?
Brings up Camden Andrews. Looks at a ball upstairs, 1-0. Well, Andrews went down swinging his first time up. First, and the 1-0 misses downstairs. It's now 2-0 on Andrews. Will the Oaks, for the first time today, chasing as they're down by 1. They did leave the bases loaded in the first inning. They did score 1 run, but they could have scored more in that inning. And as that one is lifted in the air to left field, and Latshaw makes an over-the-head catch. Didn't exactly make it look easy, but he's able to reach the glove up and make the catch, hauling out number 2.
Yeah, Latshaw was twisting and turning his shoulders out there, trying to track down the ball, and good thing he found it. Nice acrobatic catch at the last minute to make it the second out.
Well, out to the mound goes David Solis. We'll see if anything becomes of this mound visit. And it looks like Will Kaczynski's day is done. So he goes 3 2/3 of, so far, 4-run ball. Will be 4-run ball, so we're going to see a new pitcher. We'll step aside for the moment. We'll be right back. Well, it's 4-3 Saints, and Will Kaczynski's day is done. He throws 3 innings and 2/3, allows 4 runs, including a long 2-run home run by Cannon King. And up until that point, he was on his way to a win. Instead, he is currently the pitcher of record on the losing side if this lead holds. Well, now it's Johnny Lavelis taking over for the Conejo Oaks, making his 3rd pitching appearance of the season. Both of his starts were against the Santa Barbara Foresters on June 9th and June 16th. He has started both home games for the Oaks against the Santa Barbara Foresters, and on June 16th, last Tuesday, went 4 innings, allowed 1 run on 5 hits.
Yeah, he's been really good this season, especially for having faced a talented Foresters lineup twice. In the other appearance, allowed 3 runs in 3 innings, but none of them were earned. Fastball, slider, curveball, changeup, a pretty standard arsenal for Lavelis. And in his first time out of the bullpen, it's just imperative that he can be efficient too, because the Oaks would really like 3 innings out of him at least to keep this train moving and allow their other pitchers to get some rest, have some later flexibility.
It's going to be very important for him to be able to provide some significant relief, as, you know, it's anybody's ball game right now. Oaks have been up by as many as 2 runs, and Saints have now scored 3 in the bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be Sean Asperger, the batter, who popped out to third his first time up. So Johnny Lavelis comes on. His first pitch is down low. The fastball misses low for a ball. One-0. That's driven in the air to right field. Coming on hard is Medhurst. He's not going to make the catch. He'll play it on a hop. So it's a 2-out single for Asperger.
Floated that one in there. And for Medhurst, the decision to dive might have been risky, so he opted to just let it fall. Could work out well as long as Lavelis can get the next out here.
That'll bring up Dylan Immel, who drew a walk his first time up back in the 3rd inning. Saints would love to get some insurance against the Oaks, as that one is ripped into right field for a base hit. Asperger will stop at second. And this inning will continue as Dylan Immel has his first hit of the ball game.
And that brings up the dangerous Braden Flores, who had a sharp fly out in the 3rd and a single in the 1st. Not the ideal start for Lavelis. Saints have just been ready to go. How about this 4th inning of response, just when it looked like they might be faltering?
Flores 1 for 2 with a single his first time up. He flew out to left in the 3rd inning. Asperger and Immel the runners, as there's a fastball strike on the outside corner, 0-1. First and second, 2 outs, 4-3 Saints. 0-1 delivery. In the dirt, blocked by Tyson Reese. And it's 1-1. First and second, 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch is popped up, and Johnny Lavelis makes the catch. So Lavelis strands 2 runners with 2 outs. And we now head to the 5th inning, 4-3 Arroyo Seco. You're watching Oaks Baseball on YouTube, and we'll be right back. We now go to the 5th inning, and Colin Caicedo's day is done. He throws 4 innings of 3-run ball, currently in line for the win, though, should this lead hold. And taking his place on the mound is the recent graduate of Maranatha High School, Dylan Huang. Well, so far in the season, Dylan Huang has made 3 appearances. This is his 4th. He's put up a 6.0 ERA. He was last seen for the Arroyo Seco Saints on June 17th when the Saints played on the road in Irvine against the Orange County Riptide, a game where he was the winning pitcher. He's 1-0 on the season. He threw 4 innings that game, struck out 2 batters, allowed just 1 run on 3 hits, and He looks to shut the Oaks offense down here.
We'll see what he can do, trying to get summer ball experience before coming to Villanova next season.
And that's huge for any of these players to get a little bit of that momentum. And of course, there are limitations that come with being a summer ball player, especially if you're fresh out of high school, with the amount of innings you may be able to throw, the amount of pitches you may be able to throw, as fastball misses outside for a ball, 1-0. But Dylan Huang certainly pitching in a big situation, a big game for the Saints. 1-0, fastball misses high and outside, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Huang deals. There's a strike on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Tyson Reese still trying to get going after popping out in the first and hitting into a double play in the second, although he did have an RBI.
Here's the 2-1. That one is fouled away and behind the stadium. It's now an even 2-2 count on Tyson Reese. A fastball misses outside. It's now a full count on Tyson Reese. Put up a 3.31 ERA at Maranatha in Pasadena, California. 3-2 is ripped into right center field for a base hit. Reese off to the races, and he takes the turn, but he holds at first. Good start for the Oaks here in the 5th inning as Reese gets a leadoff single.
Really hard hack on it. Tyson Reese getting going with hit number 1 of the day. How about that to extend his on-base streak to 6 games?
Well, that now brings up Dylan Jackson. 1 for 2 on the day, a single. He was a strikeout victim his last time up back in the 2nd inning. Looks at a strike on the lower part of the zone, 0-1. Well, Reese, the runner at first. As the 0-1 on the way to Jackson. Misses in the dirt. Reese with a big secondary there. He gets back to first wisely. Well, Dylan Huang, young pitcher, fresh out of high school. We've seen a little bit of command inconsistencies from him early on, but still pretty early. The Saints with a 1-run lead. They'll want to protect it as much as they can. 1-1 lifted in the air. High to left center field. Chasing Paranisi back to the track to the wall. It's up against the wall. Tyson Reese is going to come all the way around. Dylan Reese on his way to third. He slides in safely as Reese scores. And this game is tied at 4 on an RBI triple by Dylan Jackson.
The bat is awakened for Dylan Jackson on Sunday afternoon, and he got into that one, put it into the gap, took a nice little bounce, an Oaks bounce off the wall and rolled straight up in the outfield, allowing him to get 3 out of it. He stands 90 feet away from giving the Oaks the lead, and 2 hits today for Dylan Jackson. What a day.
That ball just kept carrying out there in left field. Jackson's now on third. First pitch of ball downstairs to Tyler Antwine. 0 for 2 on the day, a strikeout and a pop out. So Jackson the go-ahead run at third base. 1-0 misses downstairs in the dirt for ball 2.
It's been a seesawing game today. Just when you think one team has an adequate response, the other comes back with a big offensive inning. What a competitive contest.
2-0. Fouled straight back. It's now 2-1. Back and forth affair it has been today. Here's the 2-1. Lifted in the air to left field, chasing Paranisi back some steps. He makes the catch, but that is plenty deep enough to give the Oaks a 5-4 lead as Jackson comes home, and the Oaks are back out in front in Pasadena.
Well hit there by Antwine, doing his job and getting the ball in the air. Sends Jackson home, and the Oaks have capitalized on a chance in this inning. What a start.
Well, that now brings up Caden Stillwell, who looks at a strike on the lower part of the zone. Yeah, the middle of the lineup really for the Oaks has certainly been getting it done. Stillwell picked up the first RBI of the game as he pops that one up to the right side. Dylan Immel is able to fight the sun off and make the catch for out number 2.
Much needed out for Huang to settle things down. Medhurst with an 0 for 2 day is the man tasked with keeping the inning alive, but already a successful frame for the Oaks to just retake the lead on some big knocks.
Luke Medhurst looks at a ball downstairs. Medhurst, rising redshirt freshman at the University of San Diego. Played summer ball last summer for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots of the Alaska League as he looks at a strike to even the count at 1. One ball and 1 strike. Hits the upper outside corner, 1-2 now on Luke Medhurst with 2 outs. One, 2 on the way. Misses in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Danny Aguilera waits on deck. 2-2 misses upstairs. It's now a full count on Medhurst. There's 2 outs here in the 5th inning. A full count on Medhurst. Nobody on. 3-2. Strike 3 called on the lower part of the zone. Medhurst rung up for the 3rd out. And we now head to the bottom of the 5th inning, about halfway through this game. It's 5-4 Oaks. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Here we are now in the bottom of the 5th inning as the Saints are now chasing a run. 5-4 is your score. And Johnny Lavellis back out to the mound for his, what he hopes to be his first complete inning of work. He did put a couple of base runners on in the 4th inning when he came on with 2 outs, allowed 2 hits. He comes on with a clean slate, a fresh inning. Here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and leading things off is Carson Panerisi, the only Saints who did not bat in the 4th inning, as Saints batted 8. scoring 3 runs in large part due to a 2-run shot by Cannon King, as there's a fastball strike on the inside corner to Paranisi. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses away, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Paranisi got off to a good start with a single up the middle in the first, but batted into a double play back in the third.
That one is lifted in the air to right center field. That is in the gap, and it one-hops the wall. It's fired into the cutoff man by the center fielder Mealy, but it's a leadoff double by Carson Paranisi, his second hit of the ball game.
Great job by Paranisi, lacing one up. Saints have started off innings really, really strong at times this game. In the first, the fourth, and the fifth, they've all started with base runners, and in the first and the fourth, it was back-to-back. Jacob Freer is going to try to make it that way in the fifth as well.
Freer 0 for 1 with a walk his last time up. That led off the bottom of the fourth inning where the Saints put up a 3 spot, and there's a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. So Paranisi, the runner at second. Good speed. Freer, guy who's been held hitless so far, but he's got a lot of solid contact power at the plate. Misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Runner at second with nobody out. Time is called. Paranisi at second with nobody out. Lovellis looks in, gets a sign from Tyson Reese. 1-1 to Freer. There goes Paranisi. Throw down to third. He's gone. Tyson Reese guns down Carson Paranisi, trying to steal third for a big first out for the Oaks.
Yeah, that might be a little too aggressive from Paranisi. He's already in scoring position with nobody out. Obviously, if it went his way, we might be saying the opposite about how genius of a move it was to run, but nonetheless, it takes the runner off.
1 ball, 2 strikes, and that may be a base running decision worth talking about in the dugout, but yeah, I thought he just got a little impulsive and greedy there. You've got a runner at second with nobody out in that situation. A single could easily drive him in as Freer ends up popping it up. A towering fly ball to left field. James Latshaw underneath it to make the catch. 2 down. That is a big difference. You've got nobody on and 2 outs versus what could have been a runner at second with 1 out, or potentially even third, although odds are probably second, but certainly a big difference now with 2 outs.
Well, Zach Light is the guy to watch out for, and the Oaks are happy he doesn't have any runners on base. 2 doubles today, sent him into each of the gaps. We'll see where he goes next. A lot of power.
First pitch, a fastball high and outside, 1-0. And that's another thing, too. You've got Zach Light right after Freer. If Freer doesn't do anything, Light has done it twice already with 2 RBI doubles. 1 ball, no strikes. Lovellis steals. And Light takes one high and outside, 2-0.
Well, the task for Lovellis is making this clean after he got a nice play from his catcher Reese to get his runner off the base paths. It's a tough task, though, against Light. He's pitching away from him.
And Light slices one foul into the Saints bullpen. 2 balls and 1 strike now.
And that was well hit. He's getting bat over anything he can today. Dangerous threat the Oaks need to work around.
Two balls, 1 strike. He deals, and it's a high and outside fastball, 3-1.
With Evan Ryder on deck, who struck out twice today, it's not the worst thing in the world to walk Zach Light You still have a runner just on first with 2 outs. Lovellis does not need to throw a strike here.
3-1. Fastball strike on the outside corner. The count runs full.
Well, that'll do. Now he's got a chance to get that strikeout.
Full count with 2 outs. Nobody on in the bottom of the 5th. The 3-2 on the way. And Light gets a piece of it. Chops it off the catcher, and this at-bat will continue.
Credit to Lovellis for the aggressiveness there. Almost had him on the off speed. Boy, this would be huge for the Oaks if they could get a scoreless 5th. Keep the lead.
The 3-2. In the dirt, it's a 2-out walk to Zach Light. Well, it brings up Evan Ryder, a 2-time strikeout victim so far today. Looks to get his bat going and join the hit party.
And credit to Ryder, he's hitting .333 on the season now after those last 2 at-bats. Still pretty high in batting average, but he hasn't necessarily had it yet today.
First pitch down and away, hits the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Zach Light at first, drew a 2-out walk. And the 1-0. Fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. The count on Evan Ryder. Yeah, Evan Ryder with 13 hits on the season so far. 13 for 39 on the season. Looks at a strike on the inside corner. He's got 3 doubles. He's got a decent chance to tie this game right here. Runner at first, 2 outs. The 2-1 chopper over the glove of Lovellis into the glove of Lopez, who throws to first to get his man. Well, we now head to the bottom, or the top of the 6th inning. Saints get a hit and a walk, a runner caught stealing, and it's still 5-4 Oaks. We'll be right back. Top of the 6th inning, 5-4 Oaks. Dylan Huang entering his 2nd inning of work. He allowed 2 runs in the 5th inning as the Oaks scored 2 to take the lead following 2 hits, a single by Reese, an RBI triple by Jackson, and a sac fly to left field by Tyler Antwine. And Dylan Huang looks to help his team rebound here as Cam Andrews throws down to second, indicating the start of the inning. Danny Aguilera, first up for the Conejo Oaks. He's 0 for 1 on the day with a walk and a ground out. First pitch to Aguilera to start the 6th inning. Misses in the dirt for a ball, 1-0. Well, this back and forth game has seen the Oaks up by 1, the game tied, and as Aguilera lifts one in the air to left, rather shallow, coming on Paranisi to make the catch, 1 down.
Well played by Panarisi, and Aguilera goes down with a quick at-bat. We haven't really seen very many quick at-bats for the Oaks, which is a great sign for this team. They have a lead on the road. How about that?
Bring up Nate Lopez, the second baseman. First pitch, a swing and a miss. No balls and 1 strike. Yeah, and I think 2 runs is the biggest lead we have seen the Oaks have on the road. Here's the 0-1. A swing and a miss. We did see them strike first against the Santa Barbara Foresters about a week ago. It was on Friday the 12th of June, but Foresters ended up on top with a massive 19-2 win that game, as that one misses low. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count on Nate Lopez with 1 out. 1-2. That is ripped foul to the left side.
Lopez finally got the fastball that he wanted. And these Oaks hitters have been dealing with Huang, who throws a curveball and also has a slider that drops vertically quite a bit, so you don't necessarily get a ton of difference in the break between those 2 pitches.
1-2 misses in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the 2-2. Chopper to the left side. Asperger has it. Throws to first. A high throw, but Light able to fall back on the base. 2 outs.
Huang has been pitching much better this inning. Really, outside of the single to Tyson Reese, the triple to Dylan Jackson, he's just been sharp. Really wants a clean 1-2-3, but James Latshaw won't make it easy. He's reached base twice today.
Latshaw singled in the first, walked in the second, flew out in the fourth. Looks at a first pitch changeup that misses down and away, 1-0. Well, Latshaw, guy who's shown definitely some promise and contribution at the plate for the Oaks, looks at a strike there. 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 out in the 6th inning. 1-1, lined up the middle, cut off at second by Immel. He throws to first, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Dylan Huang. We now head to the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-4 Oaks. We'll be right back. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 5-4 Oaks lead. And we see now a new pitcher on the mound for the Conejo Oaks, as it's going to be Kyle Zahn, the right-hander, rising sophomore at Ventura College. Gets action in this Sunday afternoon ball game against the Arroyo Seco Saints, and for Kyle Zahn, this will be his 3rd pitching appearance of the season. He was last seen against the Arroyo Seco Saints last week on June 14th at Ventura College. His first pitching appearance was on June 9th against the Santa Barbara Foresters, but last Sunday we saw Zahn throw 1 inning, allow 3 hits. He struck out 2 batters. He has yet to allow a run this season. And he faces Cannon King to lead things off. King responsible for the 2-run home run way out to left center field. Back in the bottom of the 4th inning. Comes to the plate to start off the bottom of the 6th. First pitch. Fastball right down the pipe. No balls and 1 strike.
Kyle Zahn has been great this season with that 3 innings of scoreless ball outing against the Saints a week ago. Fastball, curveball, changeup in the arsenal.
Here's the 0-1. King fouls that one off away to the left side. No balls and 2 strikes to count on King. Yeah, Cannon King has now hit, up to this point, 2 long balls on the season. Ripped one out to left center field earlier today. Here's the 0-2 from Zahn. Fastball, and looks like they got a piece of Cannon King. May have clipped off his jersey. So that is the first hit batsman we have seen all day.
Indeed it is. Kyle Zahn just missed a little bit inside. 3 straight fastballs to start his outing. It's not too bad to walk King or put him on first after what he did in the last at-bat.
Got to face now Cam Andrews, who is 0 for 2 on the day so far. A strikeout and a flyout. Zahn would love the help of a double play here. First pitch. Ripped to short. Aguilera to second for 1. Lopez to first. 6-4-3 double play. So, just like that. 1 pitch after the hit batter of Cannon King, and Oaks turn another double play. That would be their 3rd of the ball game.
And that was sharp. Aguilera was on top of it. Lopez was on top of it. Jackson was on top of it over at first.
We'll bring up Sean Asperger. First pitch misses upstairs, 1-0 on Asperger. 1 for 2 on the day with a single back in the 4th inning. One ball, no strikes. Off speed, misses upstairs. It's 2-0 now on Asperger.
Yeah, that was the first non-fastball we've seen from Zahn today. Just missed the changeup high and away. Will he go back to that well or go back to the heater?
Two 2-0 the count. Zahn delivers. A swing and a miss. He was ready to hack at that one. 2 balls and 1 strike. Well, Asperger played his last couple of years at Santa Barbara City College. Batted .357 this past season as he fouls that one away. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, in his 2-year career at Santa Barbara City College, he batted .314, has slugged .504. Hit 7 home runs in 2026, all 7 of his home runs for SBCC in that season alone as he fouls that one off. Count still 2-2 on Sean Asperger. His freshman year at SBCC, he ripped 3 triples and 7 doubles. 2-2, misses down and in. Off-speed changeup there. The count runs full on Asperger's. Three balls, 2 strikes. Zahn delivers. And it's ripped foul to the right side, right off the facing of the Oaks dugout. It's a full count still on Sean Asperger. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-2. Fastball misses upstairs. Good at bat by Sean Asperger as he's able to work a walk.
Yeah, staying patient. Expecting mostly fastball from Zahn, and that's mostly what he got. Dylan Immels had a nice day with a walk and a single. Gets an opportunity with 2 out and a runner on.
Dylan Immel, 1 for 1 on the day with a walk and a single back in the 4th inning. Asperger and Immel had back-to-back hits in that inning, and in which all the runs scored in that inning came before, so those 2 hits didn't really amount to anything, but these 2 guys, Asperger and Immel, certainly integral pieces of the Saints' offensive roster. 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Dylan Immel. 1-0. Hits the outside corner, 1 ball and 1 strike. One and 1 the count on Dylan Immel. 2 outs in the inning. Zahn delivers. Misses down, 2 balls and 1 strike. Asperger at first with 2 outs, and the throw down to first. A little check on Asperger. Immel with a 2-1 count. Saints chasing a run here in the bottom of the 6th. 2-1. There goes Asperger. That one is lined into left field for a base hit. And Asperger has to go back to second, and he's just back safely. Woo. Had to hold your breath there if you were the Saints. A successful hit and run play as Dylan Immel has his 2nd hit of the ball game. He's 2 for 2.
Bit of a jam for Kyle Zahn, and holding your breath is right. Asperger jogged back to the bag and nearly got tagged out by Danny Aguilera to end the inning.
Saints could tie it with a single here from Braden Flores. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Saints with a golden opportunity as Flores looks at a high fastball, 1-0. Asperger at second. And Immel at first with 2 outs. 1-0 to Flores. Fastball misses downstairs, 2-0. The count on Flores.
The fastball command for Zahn has faltered a little bit over these last couple of at-bats. That's something he has to find to get out of this inning.
2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs. Here's the 2-0. There goes Asperger. Throw down to third. And he is just safe. He somehow got his hand around the tag.
Well, I'll tell you what, we could not see Medhurst's glove because of the way Medhurst turned to his right, 180 degrees around. But Medhurst is talking to the umpire, and, I mean, have we ever seen more 50-50 calls go against someone in 2 days than with Luke Medhurst? He has had a lot of umpire conversations.
That one is fouled away to the left side. Well, Stillwell, the third baseman, was a little off balance. Thought he may have gotten to Asperger in time. Then that's the 2nd steal attempt we have seen. This one successful for the Oaks. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Right side, and it eats up Dylan Jackson at first. Asperger comes home, and the game is tied at 5. Well, what started off as a strong, promising inning as Zahn was helped out with a double play with nobody on and 2 outs. The Saints have been aggressive and have taken successful risks as Asperger was able to steal third. And looks like it is an error on Dylan Jackson, and Flores reaches first. It's a 5-5 ball game as Kyle Zahn, coming off of a freshman year at California Lutheran University, in which he put up an 18.0 ERA. So that one is grounded to the right side. Lopez throws to first, and that'll do it for the Saints in the bottom of the 6th inning, but we're tied up at 5 again. We head to the 7th inning. It's anybody's game. We'll be right back. Well, we head to the 7th inning, and this is truly a battle of nerves. It's been back and forth, and the Saints have tied the game at 5 in the bottom of the 6th inning, thanks to a walk, a single, and a misplay at first by Dylan Jackson. And we now head to the top of the 7th. Owen Mealy will lead things off against the new pitcher Hudson Carvalho for the Arroyo Seco Saints, making his first pitching appearance of the season. There's a strike on the outer part of the plate, 0-1.
Yeah, Carvalho not seen summer action yet. Spent his freshman season at Oregon.
There's a strike on the outer part of the plate, 0-2.
Over his season, 4 appearances, pitched an inning and 2/3, pitched to a ERA of 37.8.
There's a swing and a miss, and Owen Mealy goes down via way of the K. Well, it's been a week for the Oaks where they have not won a game yet, and they certainly have a chance to win this game. It's certainly far from out of reach. It's tied in the 7th inning, but the Oaks really fighting hard to just get one win this week in week 3 of CCL play. One ball, no strikes, the count on Tyson Reese. Reese is 1 for 3 with a single back in the 5th inning as he Swings and misses at that one. 1 ball and 1 strike now. With 1 out. A 1-1. Fastball misses a little bit off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Reese has 1 RBI on the day from the double play he grounded into back in the 2nd inning. 2-1. Fastball outside. 3 balls and 1 strike.
For Carvalho, one of the issues at Oregon was the walks. He had 8 in his 4 appearances.
Here's the 3-1. Misses high and in for ball 4. So a 1-out walk following the strikeout as Tyson Reese on base for the 2nd time today.
What a spot for Dylan Jackson, who has a single and a triple to try to break the tie. We've seen his late game heroics, had a walk-off home run on June 7th.
Certainly has a chance to get a big hit here. Oaks not eligible to walk it off by any means today, but it's a tight-knit ball game. First pitch down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Well, Jackson, 2 for 3 on the day. He had an RBI triple back in the 5th inning, which tied the game at the time, and that was immediately followed by a sac fly from Tyler Antwine. So it's a 1-0 count on Jackson. Tyson Reese, the go-ahead run at first. 1-0 to Jackson. Fastball misses outside, 2-0. Jackson with 3 long balls on the season, including the big walk-off 2-run bomb back on June 7th against MLB Academy. Here's the 2-0. Fastball in there for a strike, 2 balls and 1 strike.
It's been an awakening for Jackson, who didn't have a hit in any of his previous 3 games, but has 2 this afternoon.
Reese at first, 1 out, the 2-1. Chopper up the middle, and it gets through the glove of Flores, heading to third, and out! At third is Tyson Reese. Well, an unfortunate play there for the Oaks. The ball, went through the glove of Flores, and we'll see how they score it, but Reese took a gamble and tried to go to third, and it was a perfect throw from center field by Evan Ryder to nail Reese.
Yeah, just a little too aggressive on the base paths, but it was a great throw for certain, and just a tough wasted opportunity there for the Oaks. Now Dylan Jackson is still on the base paths, but just 1 runner instead of 2.
First pitch, a fastball upstairs to Tyler Antwine, and yeah, that's costly because Antwine got the job done last at bat with a sac fly, and he could have been in a position to do that again. Instead, he bats with just 1 runner at first with 2 outs. 1-0. Misses downstairs, 2 balls and no strikes. Well, I beg your pardon, actually. It would have been first and second with 2 outs if Reese doesn't attempt to go to third there. But still a big opportunity that could have been at play. Check on Jackson at first. Just in baseball in general, it really comes down to, it can often come down to one detail in the ball game that makes a difference, and so many of those 1 details. 2-0, a fastball misses downstairs, 3-0.
Well, good job for Antwine to work ahead in the count still. Walk would put the Oaks right back in threatening position.
3-0 pitch. Fastball hits the lower part of the zone, 3-1 with 2 outs. Jackson at first with 2 outs. 3-1. That hits the outside corner, and I think it was pretty well known that was going to be called. It's a full count on Antwine. 2 outs, Jackson the runner at first. He'll be going on this pitch. Unless it's a pickoff throw to first. Well, a full count with 2 outs on Antwine. Jackson at first. There he goes. And a swing and a miss. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Carvalho. And we now head to the bottom of the 7th. Time to stretch here at Jackie Robinson Field. And it's a 5-5 ball game. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Stay tuned. Bottom of the 7th inning at Jackie Robinson Field, and the Conejo Oaks turn to their 3rd pitcher of the day. It's Matthew Sanders making his 4th pitching appearance of the season. He was last seen last week against the Saints at home in the Oaks' 9-4 victory. He threw 1 inning, allowed just 2 hits, no runs. He is not allowed a run this season. He has struck out 2 batters apiece in each game that he has thrown. He's got 6 strikeouts on the season, and he comes in a tie ball game here, and in a game that the Oaks need to win so badly given the way that this week has gone.
Yeah, it's been a 4-game losing streak for the Oaks, 3 of which came on the road. The end of a 4-game road trip right here, and the Oaks have looked much better today, but are far from assured of getting the win.
And there are definitely a number of factors in this game that could have gone either way. And in a week like this where the Oaks have dropped 4 straight games, the easier it is to really scrutinize those details and think, oh, we gotta do all the little things. Seemingly everything has to go right. Well, here comes Matthew Sanders, his first pitch. A strike on the inside corner to Jacob Freer. Freer hitless so far on the day, 0 for 2 with a walk. As the Saints look to against the Oaks and perhaps get a little bit of a booster from the base running impulse from Tyson Reese trying to go to third, from first to third on a chopper up the middle, in which Flores, I mean, it could have gone either way whether he scooped it or not. If he does scoop it, they have a chance at a double play there to get out of the inning. They're able to get out of it unscathed nonetheless, as the first pitch a swing and a miss to Jacob Freer. Correction, 0-2. So Sanders ahead, 0-2 in the count. Gets the sign from Tyson Reese. He deals. That one is ripped up the middle and through for a base hit. So Jacob Freer with his first hit of the day. He joins the hit party and is on to start the 7th.
Time for Jacob Freer to make some noise. Matthew Sanders lets up a hit to begin his outing. One thing for Sanders, he still hasn't had a run allowed this season. Pitching well.
Saints look to change that here as Zach Light comes on 2 for 2 with a pair of RBI doubles and a walk. First pitch in the dirt, and Reese takes a look at Freer at first, does not throw down. 1-0 on Zach Light. Well, Light has been nothing short of strong at the plate for the Saints. Certainly in a good spot here. Freer at first, nobody out. The 1-0. There goes Freer. The pitch is in the dirt, and it's an easy stolen base for Jacob Freer.
Well-timed run for Freer. He now represents the go-ahead run in scoring position.
The count is now 2-0 on Zach Light as Freer has his second stolen base of the season. 2-0. Fastball outside. 3 balls, no strikes on Light. Well, a walk. It may put the Oaks in a situation to turn a double play, but it will also give Sanders extra trouble with another runner on base. Freer at second, nobody out. Here comes the 3-0 from Sanders. And it is indeed a high fastball outside, ball 4, a carbon copy of the last pitch. So first and second, nobody out. The go-ahead run is in scoring position.
Just an anxious start to the inning for Sanders and for the Oaks. Brings up Ryder, who's been such a good hitter this season, but over 3 today.
Has a chance to get a big hit here. Freer at second and Light at first as Sanders steps up the rubber. Gets back on. Oaks definitely need a double play here. That would help tremendously as Ryder showing bunt. Sanders throws, and it's bunted backwards, foul.
Small ball for the Saints with a tie game. Not a bad idea.
And with Ryder hitless, it is a logical and intelligent choice. You're thinking, hey, if I don't get a hit, I'd love to help the team any way I can.
Or even try to beat one out if he lays it down perfectly.
Oh, yeah. But I would predict Ryder will be showing bunt again. First and second, nobody out. The 0-1. Pulls the bunt back, and looks like Ryder's no longer going to need to bunt as both runners advance on the wild pitch.
That works too. What a spot for the Saints to be in.
So now Freer is at third, and Light is at second, and that removes the ground ball double play scenario for the Oaks, and it brings the infield in.
This is a really hard spot for Matthew Sanders to be in because he doesn't want deep fly ball contact. He doesn't want anything through the hole. Maybe he just wants to try to get a strikeout.
There's a big hole up the middle. Here's the 1-1. Hits the upper part of the zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And if you're Evan Ryder here, thinking anything on the ground anything not on the ground in the infield. Second and third, nobody out. Tie game at 5. 1-2. Strike 3 called. Evan Ryder rung up on a changeup on the inside corner. A call that looked like he didn't totally agree with, but it's a huge first out for Sanders.
What a job for Sanders going to the off speed, locating it in a borderline spot. Just needs one more of those, then the pressure's off for a sacrifice fly, but it's going to be tough against Cannon King, who homered in the 4th.
And it looks like they're going to put him on. So they're intentionally walking Cannon King to load the bases and set up a force. Set up forces everywhere. So that'll now bring up Cam Andrews, who is hitless on the day. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout. He did ground into a 6-4-3 double play his last time up, so that I would imagine certainly plays into the factor of plays a factor in the decision to walk King. First pitch is a changeup on the inside corner, 0-1.
Yeah, now you got the force anywhere, and that's the first intentional walk the Oaks have given up this season.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Freer, Light, and King the runners. Here's the 0-1. A swing and a miss. What a beautiful off-speeder there from Matthew Sanders. Gets Andrews to fall behind 0-2.
Sanders really looking sharp despite all the pressure in the world being on his shoulders. Just needs one more for a strikeout.
Bases loaded, 1 out, tie game. The 0-2. Up and in, ball 1. A similar location to the pitch that Ryder got called, but may have just been a little bit too high or too far in. So it is a 1-2 count on Cam Andrews. Sanders delivers. Swing and a miss! Back-to-back strikeouts from Matthew Sanders. And there are 2 outs.
Boy, what gutsy performances from Sanders. More off speed. He's not afraid to do whatever he needs. Now just needs one more out.
He'll have to face Sean Asperger, who's 1 for 2 with a single. He looks at a strike on the outside corner, and certainly a golden scoring opportunity for the Saints, but more pressure applied, as with runners at second and third and nobody out, they have yet to score, and now it's bases loaded and 2 outs. Tie game here in the bottom of the 7th. Bases loaded. The 0-1 is fouled back, and now Sanders and the Oaks are 1 strike away from escaping a bases-loaded jam and heading into the 8th. Freer, Light, and King the runners. Tie game in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs. The 0-2 pitch. Popped up left side. Will it stay in play? Stillwell is unable to make the catch. Comes up just a tad short as he takes a tumble over the bullpen wall. So
he almost had it.
I think that made contact with his glove. Well, Asperger gets at least one more chance. He's got 1 hit on the day so far. He walked his last time up. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Tie game in the 7th. 0-2 pitch. Another foul ball, and this at-bat will continue.
Good fight from Asperger. It'd all be worth it if he can just get 1 hit through the hole.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Tie game in the 7th. Another 0-2. Misses inside. Good take from Asperger, and didn't really have much of a choice. But he's fortunate to have it called a ball in his favor. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Freer at third, Light at second, King at first with 2 outs. Tie game in the 7th. The 1-2. Swing and a miss! From second and third, nobody out, to having the bases loaded with 1 out, Matthew Sanders strikes out the side in the 7th inning and sends this game to the 8th. Tied at 5. Still anybody's game. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Well, we head now to the 8th inning after the Oaks escaped a massive jam with the bases loaded. The game remains tied at 5. Cash Carroll, the new pitcher for the Arroyo Seco Saints, making his 3rd pitching appearance of the season. He is 1-1 so far for the Saints. Got the win against the San Diego Bombers back on June 7th in the Saints' 16-9 win, and was the losing pitcher against the Oaks on the road last week on June 14th in the 9-4 loss.
Yeah, he pitched 6 scoreless against the Bombers, but allowed 5 runs in 3 innings against the Oaks. It was quite the turn of events.
First batter he faces is Caden Stillwell, who is 2 for 3 on the day, with an RBI single back in the 1st inning. First pitch misses in the dirt for a ball, and with the level of nerves and pressure that was built up in the bottom of the 7th and the way the Oaks escaped the inning, you almost forget that the game is still tied. Nobody's in the lead. 1-0. Fastball hits the lower part of the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, that's a location in the strike zone that has been questionable offensively for the Oaks, as we've seen.
Now it's time for these hitters to dig deep. Matthew Sanders fired up the whole dugout. Now they need to compliment him in the 8th.
1-1. Just a little off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Caden Stillwell responsible for one of the RBIs that the Oaks have. Here's the 2-1. That is knocked up the middle, and Flores cuts it off, throws to first, and Light able to pick it at first for the out. 1 away.
Yeah, that was a good pick and an important one. The Saints really didn't want to give up a leadoff runner, because then that would give the Oaks just huge momentum carrying over from straining the bases loaded in the 7th. But the inning's far from over.
Luke Medhurst steps to the plate, 0 for 2. He has struck out twice, 1 swinging and 1 looking. First pitch. That one is knocked in the air to center field, chasing Ryder back to the track, and he drops the ball on the warning track. Medhurst hustles into second base. Well, a tough play out there in center field. Medhurst, although Ryder could have had it.
He did have it in his glove. He just dropped it. I mean, they're going to give him a double. Medhurst, that is. Not surprisingly, because it was a long run. He had to twist his shoulders, but nearly a catch. What a break for the Oaks. What a hit by Medhurst.
Yeah, he got a hold of that one. And now it's Danny Aguilera, 0 for 2 on the day so far with a walk. Gets a tiny piece of that one, but he tips it into the glove of Cam Andrews for strike 1. Well, there's 1 gone here in the 8th inning. Tie ball game at 5. Oaks have a chance to go back out in front. Here's the 0-1. Check swing, and the pitch misses a little bit low for a ball. 1-1. Medhurst in scoring position with 1 out. A big point in the ball game. 1-1 pitch. Misses outside. 2-1. The count on Aguilera.
What a spot for Carroll to be in. He's shown toughness this season, but also got shelled by the Oaks in his last outing. Needs to strand this runner just as Sanders did.
Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. Danny Aguilera now facing an even 2-2 count. Nate Lopez waits on deck. One out here in the 8th inning. Two-two. That's in the dirt, blocked by Andrews. Count now runs full. Well, if you put Aguilera on, you do set yourself up in a situation where you could turn a double play.
Yeah, and I do think Aguilera may be a tad more patient on 3-2 here because it's not the end of the world for the Saints if they do put him on for that reason.
But they would have to have that ground ball go in their favor. Runner at second, one out. Three-two pitch. Fouled straight back toward basically all of the press box staff.
Good fight by Aguilera just to get a tip and keep it alive.
He's battling with a 3-2 count with one out here in the 8th inning. Three-two pitch. Misses down and away, so it is a one-out walk to Danny Aguilera that brings up Nate Lopez.
That shows just how important it is to fight on 3-2. A barely foul tip ball. And now it's a pinch runner. Brandon Contreras running for Medhurst.
Well, Brandon Contreras, a man for the Oaks who has certainly got it done this week at the plate as he had a 4-hit game on Wednesday against the MLB Academy Barons. Comes on to run at second for Medhurst. We'll see if that decision pays off. Nate Lopez, first and second, one out. Pops up the first pitch he sees. Andrews underneath it, he makes the catch, and that's a big second out for the Arroyo Seco Saints.
Absolutely, just a massive way to retire Lopez stress-free. James Latshaw, though, could break this open with one swing, and with the speedy Contreras on the base paths, it doesn't need to be a huge single to try to bring him in if he gets a good jump.
First and second with two outs, Contreras and Aguilera the runners. And Carroll will take a look at Contreras. He's going to keep an eye on him. A base hit to the outfield could pretty easily score Contreras. I would imagine the outfielders are anticipating that a little bit and trying to put themselves in a position where if they do get a base hit, that they at least have a chance at him. First pitch. Latshaw looks at a ball just low. And Lopez, he did not take a pitch. He went with the first pitch that he saw and didn't get a good piece on it, and unfortunately was unable to advance the runners. 1 ball, no strikes with 2 outs. Carroll deals instead. He'll look back into second.
Latshaw's offense has cooled off after the first. He singled then, since then had a walk in the second, then a fly out, then a ground out.
One 0. A swing and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike with 2 outs. Contreras and Aguilera, the runners. 1-1 pitch. Misses low for ball 2. Latshaw has drawn ball 4 once today. He's singled in his first at bat. Pressure is on both Carroll and Latshaw. Two one. Fouled back, and it's an even 2-2 count on Latshaw. So Carroll, a strike away from sending this game to the bottom of the 8th tied.
What a battle by these pitchers. Credit to Sanders in the 7th, credit to Carroll in the 8th. His job's not over yet, but it's getting closer.
First and second, 2 outs, tie game. Two-two pitch. Grounder, back, up the middle and through, a base hit. Contreras coming to the plate. He's going to be in there. The game is in favor of the Oaks, and Latshaw safe at second. Conejo takes a 6-5 lead.
One swing. James Latshaw poked it through, giving the Oaks the lead, exactly what they wanted. It's finally there, and not only that, but 2 more runners in scoring position. One more hit, and suddenly it could be a 3-run game. What a spot for Owen Mealy to be in.
And right there, it's not how hard you hit it, it's where. And Latshaw just put it in a perfect spot, right up the middle.
Yeah, it snuck right past Carroll. He might have had a play on it, maybe. It's a hard one to make, though.
So Owen Mealy has an RBI single that came back in the 2nd inning. It's 2nd and 3rd with 2 outs, and it was a bang-bang play at second, too. Here's the pitch. Fastball on the outside corner, 0-1. Well, Mealy is 1 for 3 on the day. Aguilera at 3rd, and Latshaw is at 2nd. Here's the 0-1. Misses downstairs, 1 ball and 1 strike. One. Lined out to right field, and a sliding attempt, and King unable to make the catch. 2-run score, and it's now 8-5 Oaks. Oaks with their biggest lead of the day so far.
Wow, that was in King's glove. What an effort. He slid for it, couldn't keep it. And Owen Mealy doing just enough for his team. What a day for the Oaks. It's not over yet, but boy, a 3-run lead, their largest of the day, certainly feels good to have.
The Oaks making Cash Carroll work his behind off in this inning. There's a strike on the lower part of the zone to Tyson Reese. He singled back in the 5th inning. And the Oaks with some key insurance runs in this inning. Check over at first, and Owen Mealy picked off for the 2nd time this season. So, an abrupt ending to an otherwise big inning for the Oaks. 8-5 Conejo as we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Saints need at least 3 to stay in this ball game. We'll be back. Oaks with an 8-5 lead over the Arroyo Seco Saints as they scored some key 2-out runs in the 8th inning with big hits from James Latshaw and Owen Mealy. As the Oaks now bring on a new pitcher, Pearson Howe, to face Dylan Immel, the first up in this inning. You'll want a swing and a miss. The count quickly 0-2. Well, Pearson Howe, rising sophomore at Pepperdine, making his 4th pitching appearance of the season. He's 1-0. As there's a chopper up the middle. It gets through for a base hit. Saints needed after allowing 3 runs in the top of the 8th inning. They need a base runner to start things off.
Yeah, Pearson Howe likes to work very quickly and do things at his pace, but Dylan Immel did not succumb to the quick at-bat. On 0-2, protected the plate and bounced one into center. Well done.
Well, Pearson Howe, he was the winning pitcher on June 11th versus Philippines Baseball Group in the 6-4 win for the Oaks. He was last seen on June 16th, last Tuesday, against the Santa Barbara Foresters in a 3-2 loss that the Oaks suffered. And Braden Flores now at the plate. He is 1 for 4 on the day. He reached on an error by Jackson his last time up, and he fouls that one away, 0-1. Well, we saw the Saints score 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning, so it's not like this is unfamiliar territory to them. They are down by 3. Yo, 1. Fastball misses downstairs, 1-1. Flores 1 hit on the day. And it misses low, 2 balls and 1 strike as Flores was able to check his swing. And Pearson Howe, rising sophomore at Pepperdine University, deals one low and inside. It's now 3-1 on Pearson Howe. And Howe, coming off a season at Pepperdine, put up a 9.0 ERA, went 0-1 for the Waves. As there's a grounder to the right side, Jackson throws to first for 1, throw to first, not quite in time. That ball was just not quite hit hard enough as Flores can fly out of the box. So he's at first with 1 out.
Yeah, well done by Flores to break up the double play, but still a productive out for Pearson Howe. He could still get the double play against Panarisi to end the frame.
Carson Panarisi has 2 hits on the day, a single in the first and a double back in the 5th inning. Check on Flores at first. He gets back safely. Well, Carson Panarisi grounded out his last time up and comes on hoping to, at the very least, move Flores over and get on base, hoping for the Saints. Saints hope to knock on the door. First pitch. Outside, and the throw over to first goes down the right field line, and Flores will take second. Boy, that is a costly mistake by the Oaks as Reese just overthrew Jackson, and that removes the ground ball double play scenario for the Oaks.
Yeah, not a great decision there. Reese obviously wants the runner Flores to avoid stealing, but